Welcome to the SmileLine podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give real information from doctors and patients about our SmileLine prosthetic and the sequence of appointments. For more information, check out our website or give our office a call. Hope you enjoy today's episode. All right, guys, we're back today with Dr. Sam Barnhart, and we're going to be going over a topic we hear about a lot in consults that I hear with new patients, and maybe they've been to their local dentist they've been seeing for 10, 20 years. Maybe they just went to the first place that popped up in their phone. But what it is it's getting second opinions and choosing the right treatment to start. Whenever a lot of times I hear Dr. Sam say, just go ahead. What's your saying on the second opinions and treatment options?
Well, my first thing I like to tell people is the number one place you can go wrong is right now, which is the first decision you make about treatment. But as far as my opinion on second opinions, I love it when patients get second opinions. I love it. My favorite consults are the ones when we are the third or fourth opinion, because there are just so many different ways to do implants that you should. It's not a standardized industry. The different providers have different skills. They use different laboratories who have different skills. And there's so many layers there, especially when you're talking about a lot of providers that are referring, to a specialist. And then they're using a general dentist. Then they're using a lab. There's a lot of moving parts. And it just creates a lot of variation between providers. So I don't want patients to think that the products are all the same out there. You go to dentist X, it's the same as dentist Y and Z and all that. So
yeah, that's exactly right. I see it a lot during consults whenever I go through all the options. And I don't go through all the options that we do. I go through kind of all the options that they can choose from an industry standpoint.
Right.
And by the time they're done, they're like, I didn't know about any of those, because they just heard about the treatment option that their dentist provides. But the reality is there's a lot of different options out there, and some are better than others, and some fit people's wants and needs more than others too.
Yeah, and based on the feedback that we've been getting from our patients that are really coming to us after they've seen people mostly in Columbia, which is the largest city kind of closest to us, but it's about an hour north of us. Mm-hmm. I think there's a ton of people there that are, there's a few corporate locations up there that do a lot of full arch replacement. And based on that feedback, we're hearing that they're getting a lot of quotes for snap-on prosthetics that are removable. And in our opinion, when you compare those to fixed prosthetics, it's not the same as, driving a nice car and driving an old beater. It's the same as, it's the difference of walking versus driving a car.
Yeah. You feel so strongly about that you quit doing snap-ons, and you were doing those for years and years and years.
Yeah. And that's why I say, this episode is all about, don't be satisfied with the first thing that you're told, even if you feel like that's a pretty good price or they did a good job. I'm here to tell you, compare apples to apples. And, our natural God-given teeth don't come out, and they are rigidly connected to our jawbone. And, if you're going to something that's not pretty similar to that, it is a very difficult life transition, and you may never be satisfied even after you've spent thousands of dollars on treatment. So, I think that the thing I'm most proud of what we do is that we offer fixed permanent solutions that don't come out, really at a price point that's the same as what everybody else is offering the snap-on removables for.
Yeah.
And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Patients tend to love me whenever they get quotes either for fixed from other places, then come to our office, or they've gotten a quote for snap-ons, and then we give them a really similar quote, except they get fixed teeth, and they're pretty thankful whenever they leave the consults that day. And even if they don't choose us, they have all the information in front of them to make an educated decision to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been the push in our practice for the last 3 or 4 years to be able to manufacture the fixed prosthetics. I'm here to tell you guys the technology that it takes to put together these fixed prosthetics is very expensive. It's constantly changing. And for corporations like, DDS Implant Solutions or Affordable Dentures, for corporations like that, they can't utilize that because every location has a different team, and the the logistics of trying to train people on the continuous movement of technology with a business of that scale is just it's really undoable. And to move that fast. So, these large corporations, they have pretty decent business models, but they just don't have the cutting edge stuff that dentistry can really provide like some of the smaller businesses do. So I think we're just in a niche spot, and we're a really nice size company because we are big enough we can take care of you, but small enough that, we can really stay with the technology that's out there and provide, a result that is far superior than the competition because, when you compare our fixed to other people, that's when, we're just way cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason we've done that is really you've put a focus on this whenever you've seen the success that these fixed cases were having. I mean, your message to me was like, hey, these things work. This is the solution. How do I get more people in these?
All right.
And, since that moment, several years ago, we've brought the in-house lab back, everything back there. We're making our own prosthetics. We have an in-house designer, 3D printers doing temps, all those aspects were brought in-house. And it's really just because we can control the overhead and drop our prices to give people, a better opportunity at the true solution to get them fixed.
Yeah, the evolution and the practice with our implants has been, one where I started doing a lot of snap-ons, and we had decent success with it, but we had about 15 or 20% of our patients that really weren't that happy, and I just really kind of had to say, well, that's what you bought. You bought a snap-on. It does come out, and then as we evolved and started using hybrids for our fixed solutions back in 2020 during COVID, we saw a spike in patient satisfaction just increase so much that I knew that we had to transform our in-house model. And, from 2020, we've been working on that. I'm really happy to say it's been almost a year now. This October will be a year that we've been producing our own SmileLine prosthetic. We really didn't, make the name official until this past spring. We'd been prototyping for like the last year and a half. But, I'm here to tell you, knock on wood, we haven't had a single SmileLine prosthetic break. And we feel like we've really got a solution that took, a lot of time to make and invent. But, we feel like we've got a solution that can really work for people. And, it's just so much better than snap-ons that, it's give us a second opinion chance. If you've gone and gotten a quote, I'd love to hear from you and let you know what it's like to get a fixed permanent solution. We also provide something that there's some people doing it in the industry, but it's not very standard, where the patients get to see their teeth and approve their teeth before we actually go to the final. That's been an incredible part for increase in patient satisfaction. And, just look at the smiles that are coming out of there in the last year or so. Our consistency with the digital workflow, just the whole thing. I'm so proud of it. So proud of it, in fact, that we are expanding into our upstairs and, we're increasing our capacity so that we can do more of it because definitely the cases that Chris has been getting me more and more work to do.
Yeah, it's really just from the technology and what we've developed in our lab has been able to bring the price down to a pretty affordable point to where it's like, well, my teeth need replaced. Well, I'm not gonna go with dentures or snap-ons or anything that removes out of my mouth. Like, I'm gonna get fixed teeth, and just that want of not having to lose functionality and give up different things, in the last, 10, 20, 30 years of your life. That's worth a lot. And we're just seeing it more and more, the demand.
And the drive is just finding a cheaper solution that's not less quality. It's the same quality, but can we find another way? Since I've been in implants, guys, the technology keeps getting better. And while the technology is expensive, once you get it and you learn it, the unit cost is going down for these types of prosthetics. But, when I look across the industry, the price isn't going down.
No, it's not.
We're the only people that have lowered our price. Since 2020, when we were doing this stuff, what are we, like 15, 20% cheaper now than we were in 2020? I don't think there's many companies out there that can say they've dropped their price 20% since COVID. And that's just because of the changes we've made where we can manufacture this in-house. There's no reduction in quality. In fact, the strength has gone up. And it's just really the mission of the practice and of SmileLine to find a more cost-effective way to give patients this solution. These are not people that need a crown and need a filling. These are people that are being affected every minute of every day, whether it be functionally or self-esteem wise. Man, we had a great case this week. She wouldn't even speak at the consult. Chris literally comes to me and he goes, I don't really, that she's not talking. She's not going to speak. Just so you know, he goes, she's not going to talk to you. I'm like, well, I got to do phonetics testing, so she's got to talk. But man, what an awesome before and after. And it's just the same thing that's happening every day. Last week we did 9 cases. Our capacity's going up and price is going down. So man, it's exciting. We're also doing some prototyping stuff with some cheaper materials to try to meet some patient budgets. That's kind of on a R&D level, so we don't really offer that as a mainstream option. But come to us, give us a chance for a second opinion, because for the people that really need this service, our heart's in it for you. And we work really hard to try to find a way.
Absolutely.
Can't find a way for everybody, but we turn over a lot of stones.
We do. And, even if we can't make it work, at the end of it, that patient has all the information, about multiple different options. Some we don't even offer.
Right.
And then they have just that in front of them, and then they can go ahead and make an educated decision into the future of what they want.
Yeah. And I will tell you, if you're coming to us and you're just looking for dentures, really we've gotten to the point where we're telling people like, hey, if we're going to do a denture for someone, we're going to try to do it to the very best ability we have. And what we have found is it's not cheap to do a denture. It actually takes us a lot more time than it does to do a fixed case because of the streamline of the SmileLine process. I mean, we've really got it streamlined to where it's a pretty predictable amount of time per case. Whereas denture cases are just a big variable, big question mark on how long it's going to take to satisfy that patient. We're not sure if we ever will. So we've really slowed down on that.
It's, we've put so much time and effort into making the implants, the fixed teeth, streamlined and, efficient, that our denture process has gotten inefficient because all of our focus has been here. And so that's...
I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's more like the more dentures I've done, I've realized they're just harder. Would you rather build on a mobile foundation of tissue? Literally, think about building a house. Would you rather build it on a moving foundation, or would you rather build it on poured concrete, which is like the implants?
Yeah, I'd take the poured concrete.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're a construction guy, you're going, yeah, we wouldn't even try that. Yeah, that's crazy. And that's what dentures are. You're trying to build something on moving foundations. You're trying to take impressions of mobile tissue in a lot of situations. Very, very difficult and unpredictable process, and patient expectations high because they're not cheap either.
Yeah.
So, man, in our opinion, just give us a chance, and second opinions, love them. Love it when they come in with those already treatment plans, and we know we have something that can knock their socks off.
That's right. So, if you guys are looking for any second opinions, you can schedule your free consultation. Give the office a call. Or hit us up on our website. You can make an appointment straight from there. And we look forward to seeing you in the office.
See you guys.